This is it. Just us and Fontaine. It's one human, one human spliced up versus another human really spliced up. I hope we win. Hello and welcome everybody. This is Yosuke. Here's the time for the final episode of Bioshock. In the last episode, we escorted the little sisters to the Proving Grounds, which is once a museum. And in this episode, we're going to be confronting Fontaine. Going up the elevator, and we're going to load up Fontaine. Just that's what the level's called. So, yeah.
I remember when me and the crowd put you in that sub. You were no more than 2. You were my ace in the hole, but you were also the closest thing I ever had to a son. And that's why this hurts. Betrayal, kid. Life ain't strictly business.
So, yeah. Fontaine's full of crap. Let's put it this way. Both antagonists in this game are full of crap. So right here we have the final battle, the boss fight with Fontaine. As you can see right here, he is injecting himself with so much atom, I'm surprised he can even keep his current form. And we're going to go ahead and start draining him of at least 1/4 of his atom. Of course. Oh no, I don't think we did more. So yeah, this is a boss fight with him. Not very impressive, I'm not going to lie. Just basically keep hitting him and eventually he'll go back to his chamber, his little thing, and absorb more atom, and you'll start draining more atom from him. You'll wash, rinse, repeat. The big thing about this, though, is he takes on different forms. Like right now he's got a fire form, the next form I think will be either ice or lightning, and then the form after that will be the same, will be whatever the others I didn't mention. And they play out a little differently each time. Like this one's probably the easiest form to deal with. There we go.
Catch my breath. And I'm gonna bury you. All days.
So yeah, we stab him again. By the way, for those of you wondering, why he looks this way, the entire series of Bioshock, the entire story of Bioshock is basically based off of the book Atlas Shrugged, written by Ayn Rand. It's a book about objectivism and basically every man for himself sort of thing. He very much glorifies the idea, whereas this kind of deconstructs the idea, showing the worst possible nature and the extreme society of people who are, well, objectivist followers. Every man for himself, they don't care to help others. And yeah, the cover of the book is a picture of a gold statue of Atlas, the Greek tragic hero, holding up the earth. I believe that's what it's Atlas. If Atlas wasn't a tragic hero, he was a god destined to follow that ideal to begin with. So yeah. The book Atlas Shrugged, I don't know what the whole story is, but I think there's something about a world engine or something. It's really... I never read it. My dad's a big fan of it, but I'm not. But anyway, here we go. Deal the final strike to Atlas. Or Fontaine. Excuse me. Well, that's also why he's called Atlas in this. I use the codename Atlas.
I sent you topside. I called you back, showed you what you was capable of. Even that life you thought you had, that was something I dreamed up and had tattooed inside your head. Now if you don't call that family, I don't know what is.
again, he's got some valid points here, but he betrayed us. There's actually some major problems with that thinking. Actually, had he just said, "Hey, thanks for helping. By the way, I'm really Fontaine. I created you. You're under my control. Would you kindly not betray me?" I think that would work. But no, he had to get killed by the little sisters. And now I'm reminded of Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Beaten and broken beneath an unconscious, naked child. Yep, I think it's time for me to go.
And you refused it. And what did you do instead? What I've come to expect of you. You saved them. You gave them the one thing that was stolen from them. A chance. A chance to learn. To find love. To live. And in the end, what was your reward? You never said. But I think I know. A family.
I really like that ending. The other ending, there's two other, well, quote unquote, two other endings for saving all, for just harvesting all the little sisters or harvesting some of them. It's the same ending, and it's just kind of the only difference between the two endings is the tone of Tenenbaum's voice. And the two endings are basically like how you use them to take over the world instead of saying little sisters. It's just kind of, it's shorter, I think. I think it's a little shorter, but it's like not as good. And I think one of the things, if I remember correctly, like they didn't want to put in moral choice, like a dual choice in the game, but they had to because 2K was saying, "Hey, that's what's in now, and that kind of what's in. That's what's gonna sell. So we need you to do that." And so they're like, "Fine, we'll just do that. We gotta reward them for this somehow." And no one's gonna understand the concept. Like, you get more out of them for doing this and less out of them for doing this, even though it kind of still balances out in the end anyway. I'm not kidding. Like, whether or not you harvested or saved them, the amount of atom balances out. It's a difference of when you get the amount of atom. So yeah. They had to do something to make it more worthwhile than that. So they made multiple choice endings. The multiple choice ending does persist into Bioshock 2. And that one's handled a bit differently. I mean, you still have the little sister stuff, but there's also another thing in there with that kind of affects the ending. So it technically has more endings, and well, it sort of has more endings. It's different from what's said at the end, and it's like with the big difference is the big scoping difference is what's said at the end, and there are big differences between what's the closing dialogue that actually does kind of make it impressive. I gotta say I like the ending to Bioshock 2 a lot better, even though I do like Bioshock a lot better. So yeah, like I said earlier in this game, I will be playing Bioshock 2. Very shortly, in fact. That'll probably be the next Let's Play. I know I don't normally reveal Let's Plays, but I figured, this is Bioshock we're talking about. And much like Donkey Kong Country, I'm going to just power through all three of them. The only difference is that this is going to take a little bit longer. I think what was I'm on episode. I was on episode. I think I'm on episode. This would be episode 23 right now, whereas I was on episode 20. I was already done with the second game. So yeah. So yeah. Just so you know, you don't get to see the credits unless you actually hit the credits in this game. So that's something I kind of like and dislike. I mean, I like for the fact that you don't have to sit through the credits like you do with most other games. But I also don't like that because you're not getting the. Well, most people aren't going to look at the credits, and so they're not going to be forced to see like, oh look, Colin Fix helped in the art characters, or John Crussell was the producer, or Gary Scheinman worked on the music. Which, by the way, you did some good job there, Gary. Assuming he's listening. So yeah. Just randomly picking out names. I don't know what pop sound is. That's interesting. Got actors. Those are the people who I think worked on the character model, like character animations. I think. Like those could be voice actors. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention at the beginning of this. Honestly, I don't know why. Dedications. Oh, wow. Hold up. So this is Elizabeth for being supportive. Huh. For those of you who don't know anything about Bioshock Infinite, first off, welcome to the current time. I know that you traveled back in time to reach this point, or you watched this video 15 years in the future, or you came from the past. But Elizabeth is one of the main characters, is the secondary character for Bioshock Infinite, and that's not a spoiler, by the way. I find that really weird that. No, who's the guy that wrote Bioshock? It was the main guy that's credited for Bioshock. Ken Levine, I think. I'm wondering if Elizabeth is his wife. Which, it's kind of interesting. But anyway, leave you guys on that thought. And for those of you who played Bioshock Infinite, that kind of gives you another thought to think of. So yeah, with all that said, I'll see you guys in the next Let's Play.